What's up, everybody? My name is Joe Landers, aka Cincy Joe. I'm a professional Pot Limit Omaha player. Today we're going to review a review by JNANDEZ and show you why he is not a good Pot Limit Omaha player. I just got done reading his book, and let's just say I was not impressed. I think if you play like him and are trying to play GTO, and you're playing in a live setting, you're going to lose a ton of money because those guys do not fold. And when you raise and then bet a gutter on the flop, they're not folding. You're going to get called and you have a gutter. This is the way he plays, trying to play GTO at Pot Limit Omaha, which is not a soft game. Just, it's going to cost you a lot of money. He's a winning player because there's a lot of very, very, very bad players. You don't have to be very good to win money. So he's good enough to win, but he is not a top-notch PLO player. I've trained under Phil Galfond. I've taken a lot of stuff from other great players, and I just do not think JNANDEZ is a good player. So let's get into the action, and I'll show you why.
It's Fernando, aka JNANDEZ 87. Big hand here at 10-20 with ace queen queen 7 and 10 big blinds, so this will be an easy jam.
Okay, raise on the button. You should be re-raising with 4 Broadway cards, double paired hands, and aces. Basically re-raising with queens just does not make much sense to me here at all. He could easily just call, hope to flop a queen, hope to flop a flush draw, and see how the hands plays out. I mean, to me, when you 3-bet here and you get called, you're going to be in really bad shape. So I would definitely just call here, but he's instead going to re-raise and then call his shove. So let's see him do it.
If we want to call a jam, all in, we are a favorite against ace jack 10-10. And I don't mind to run it one time here. I'm gonna go once. Flop 87% equity, 95% equity. Hold it. There we go.
Okay, he happened to get lucky that the player he's playing against how should I say this? The player he's playing against should have folded when he got re-raised, and instead he jammed. When you get 3-bet and you have an ace in your hand, you should almost always fold. The only way you can call, I mean, I think folding is always right. JNANDEZ argued that you should call if you have like a double suited ace hand, but I think if you have an ace in your hand and you get 3-bet, you should always fold. So JNANDEZ got lucky that he's playing against a bad player. If he's playing against me, I just fold, and yes, he picks up my 50, but if I re-raise him, he's in a world of hurt. So, you know, he got lucky that he's playing against bad players, which, as I've found, the higher you move up in stakes in PLO, the worse the players get, which is kind of counterintuitive, but the players playing at the lower stakes, they actually care about the money, and they play very conservatively. When they put in all their money in, they have a really good hand. The players that play at the high stakes, most of them are really rich, they love to gamble, and they don't care about the money, and they'll get it all in knowing they have 10% equity. They don't care.
On the 5-10 game, we open the button, small blind calls, and
Okay, for one, he should not be opening the button with this hand. This hand is a call. For one, it doesn't even have 3 Broadway cards. Justice, no barking. It doesn't even have 3 Broadway cards or 3 wheel cards to go along with the suited ace. Or it doesn't have like 7, 8, 9 ace with 1 or 2 suits. It's very, very clearly a calling hand. So he already made a mistake by raising. He should have just called.
And I think on the flop, I'm going to start betting.
Okay, so he bets the flop with a pair of 7s and 2 backdoor flush draws. This is clearly a check. You want to check and hope that a 7 or a heart or a spade comes. You do not want to bet and then get check raised and then you just have to fold out all your equity. So again, another donkey play by JNANDEZ.
That's not the backdoor flush draw we're looking for. Just gonna check. I'm gonna pop.
Okay, so he bets flop, then he checks turn. If he actually had, if he had a wrap or if he had a set or if he had top 2 pair, he's going to continue betting on this turn card. So when he checks turn, it's like, what the hell do you have? It doesn't make any sense. And then he bets river. He has absolutely no blockers. I guess he's betting because he figures he has no way to win. But his line just makes absolutely no sense here. And he has no blockers at all. I think he should just check and give up here, but, I guess he's thinking he has no way to win.
Off the river. So I think it's going to show up with a lot of kings, basically. Some queen X as well, maybe queen 10 sometimes. He has 6s. 6, 6, 7, 5. Okay.
Okay, I assume he raised pre-flop. Didn't really follow that, but he gets a monster flop, and you should be betting monster flops. The last thing you want to do here is check and have everybody check and have a 10 jack or queen come and somebody hits Broadway on you for free. So he should definitely be betting here, but instead he plays like a donkey and he checks.
That's a good flop. I'm going to start with a check.
And he gets lucky that he's, again, playing against horrible players. And the guy went all in with just a gutter and not even nut flush draw. So, JNANDEZ plays against very bad players, and he plays bad. But he plays better than they are, because from what I've seen from them, they're atrociously bad. So, it's like that Red Bull commercial where the 2 gazelles see the lion and the one drinks the Red Bull and the other one says a Red Bull's not going to help you outrun a lion, and the other one says I don't have to outrun the lion, I just have to outrun you. JNANDEZ is better than his competition, but he is not an elite PLO player by any means.
It's a lot of percentages there against the gutter. Okay, turns a wrap. Or not a wrap, I guess. It's not a wrap. You win.
And JNANDEZ doesn't even know what a wrap is, apparently. Because that's not close to a wrap.
And there we go. We face the 4-bet, which we like to see.
Okay, so he 3-bets, and again he gets 4-bet when he has aces, which again he's playing against very soft competition. which is a dream. He should just pot it. Hopefully he pots it.
And we will obviously jam all in, hoping to run into a hand like ace king king. We do run into... run it 2 times. What does he have? Like a... oh, he flops trips with... okay. Well, hopefully we can win the second one. Hold it.
So this player with 5, 6, 7, 8, opening is fine, but when JNANDEZ 3 bets, he should have just called. And if he would have just called, he would have destroyed JNANDEZ on the flop. But by getting it all in, he puts himself in a really bad spot. So these players are very, very, very bad. Okay? And again, I'm saying JNANDEZ is a gazelle that drank the Red Bull and outran the other gazelle, but he's not outrunning any lions. And there's some PLO players out there that are lions that would absolutely destroy JNANDEZ. But most of them don't have the celebrity status and money that he has.
4 bets 8, 7, 6, 5 single suited. Okay, well, we got it in good.
Here he's betting the flop with bottom 2 pair, a gut shot to not even the nuts, and a backdoor nut flush draw. So again, this is where he should just definitely just check and hope that an ace 6 diamond. He doesn't really want a 7. He wants an ace 6 or a diamond. So he should definitely just check. But again, JNANDEZ decides to take a different line and bet. Now he hit his straight, but it's not the nuts. Let's see what he does. Now this guy bets almost pot, and JNANDEZ literally has no nut outs at all. An ace doesn't give him nuts, a 6 doesn't give him the nuts. He has no nut outs whatsoever. So he should definitely fold. But let's see what JNANDEZ does.
In this table, we turn the second nuts. We will obviously call down. So he check calls flop. We have no spade in our hand, so he's gonna have like 10 extra spades quite frequently and use that as blockers. We don't love the river, but there's no fold. Could also have a hand like jacks and spades, jack 10 of spades. He checks.
Okay, now that this guy checks, JNANDEZ should definitely check, because this guy could have had 8-10 and been afraid that JNANDEZ now has the higher straight. So let's see what JNANDEZ does.
The river, so he could have 10s. So we have a 10 high straight. He could check raises, obviously. I think we were going to bet half pot here.
That's just a horrible bet. He's only getting called by something better, unless the player is just absolutely atrocious. Yeah, it's a horrible bet. Horrible bet. JNANDEZ is not a good player, guys. You need to stop learning from him. You're going to lose all your money. If you're playing at 1-2 PLO, which is what most of you that probably watch this play, you're going to get absolutely destroyed. Unless you have his bankroll and can play at his stakes, you're going to get destroyed.
Over in this table, we 3-bet against a short stack, and flop is very unfortunate, but
okay, he 3-bet with kings. His kings are good enough to open, but he should never be 3-betting with those kings, ever. It's just not a good enough hand to 3-bet. You want to call and hope for a good flop. Hopefully a set of kings with a spade flush draw is what you want. But 3-betting, because if you get 4-bet, you just have to fold because the guy has aces like almost every single time.
There's only half pot left, basically. Really hope we're not going to get called.
Okay, so he basically says, I don't even care about the money. He only has half pot. literally this guy loses to a pair of aces and he's going all in. Like, you're in position, or actually, hold on, I take that back. He's first act, so he had re-raised pre-flop. So yes, he can represent a set of aces here, but if this guy has anything, he's calling him. I would just check, and if this guy goes all in, it's an easy fold. His hand is not good. This is not a good flop.
Called here, we are going to get called. 18% against an ace.
Yeah, he got it all in,
time.
Not even 20% equity.
We need a miracle. A king or a queen, basically. Okay, not much we can do there. Just too shallow on the flop against the button.
Not much you can do. You can play better.
St. Peace, JNANDEZ. I remember the good old days when you came on Twitch for the 100K challenge. How come you transformed from a grinder to a company founder? Why did you want to share your knowledge to others and build your own company? What inspired you for the change? Well, I would look at it mostly as an evolution, essentially. You know, I'm just gonna call this one.
All right, that's a fine call. I agree with that call.
I always had the urge to coach, and because it's
one
of my biggest strengths, you know, it's one of the things I enjoy the most.
Should check.
So even before I played poker, I was already a coach in volleyball, for example. I coached already other people. Always had the tendency, always had the interest, always had interest in psychology, teaching, learning. And of course, you got to accumulate, first of all, some knowledge and understanding in any material in order to teach it as well.
I would check fold.
So this player bets the flop in the turn. A pretty interesting river now on the king. Obviously, 7-8-5 type of hands are busting, and also some weaker flush draws, but also Queen 10 gets there, and
he should definitely
all the hands that beat me on. It's a close decision, really, because
it's not a close decision. You should fold.
I block certain hands I don't want to block, really.
You only beat his bluffs.
He will still call. He ends up with kings, unfortunately. So it would take too much time to like really break down in detail, you know, like what caused the shift or like how the whole journey went down.
He should not have raised this hand either. Well, I guess if they're playing heads up, so my rule for playing heads up is if your hand would be good enough to call, if you're playing in a 9-handed table, it's good enough to open. So since he's heads up, that's a fine open.
Maybe another time. Tomorrow, for example, we do have a podcast, or I do have a podcast with Evan. It will be live streamed over here on Twitch. It's probably a better spot to talk.
That was a good check.
Stuff like that. Over here, we call all in. We got check raise in the flop, turn and wrap, and a flush draw. I mean, we already had.
Alright, he's fine getting it all in here with a wrap and a backdoor flush draw. I have no problem with that.
Hit the wrap on the flop. I'm going to run it one time. We don't connect. And over on this table, we get raised on the flop. I mean, we have a very easy fold. Huge hand on the other 10-20 game against the player who actually 4-bet this single-suited rundown before. So we are excited to look down at double-suited aces. I'm going to try to 3-bet a little bit faster this time. Like,
it's an obvious 3-bet.
That could play a subconscious role. Snap 4-bet. Well, now we know he definitely doesn't need aces for this move. All in, baby. He calls. He has ace, jack, 9-8. Double suited. And we will run it 2 times. We also got the spades covered. Avoiding the jack. Nice. Hold it. King, king. Good flop. Good turn.
He's just playing against absolutely atrocious players. For one, this guy should have... Maybe you can raise that, but if you get 3-bet, that's a snap fold. And it's a snap fold for me when you get 3-bet, especially out of position. But If you are going to do anything, I would call. 4-betting is just atrocious.
And there we go.
See, JNANDEZ just plays against horrible competition. I'm telling you, the higher you go in PLO, the
down.
easier
In the meantime, we open raise over here. Big blind defense, he has like less than pot left. We flop an overpair and then open and straight draw. Kind of an ugly hand if you look at the flop, but good enough to get the money in for.
Okay, this is absolutely horrible. He's getting it all in with the ugly end of a straight draw when there's already a higher straight that he's drawing basically dead to and an overpair. He's absolutely an atrocious player. You guys need to stop buying his book and learning how to play from him because you're gonna lose.
For sure. I mean, he has less than one pot size bet left. He has 21% equity. Let's run it one time, not 3 times for a small pot.
Okay, I don't know how
good river, we take it down. King 10 deuce 4.
Like,
that is.
He's playing against such bad
light
players.
hand, man.
If he's playing at my 1-2 PLO game in Cincinnati,
goes all in with $100.
He's gonna lose money playing
10-20. And here we are in position with the second flush draw and a backdoor flush draw. Obviously, just calling.
That's a good call.
That doesn't make things easier on the turn.
I would bet.
Checks. That is interesting.
The guy's all in, but they got a side pot. I would definitely bet.
I mean, I can definitely see like how aces probably want to check rip or queens because it's such a draw-heavy board.
You definitely should have bet that.
So I will check back. Okay.
Now I would check.
I'm not sure if he's like. I mean, yeah. If I assume he's gonna check rip aces sometimes on the turn, he can have aces for sure with like a heart. Seeing as we're playing for a side pot.
No, definitely check. If you get called, he has a better flush. That's a horrible bet.
If I would be bluffing, I would basically be bluffing only for like this size for this pot. So it's not that appealing for him to call. We'll see. Could also have kings and hearts. That's the thing. On the turn, kings and hearts would make sense. Yeah, we're gonna see the showdown.
See, that's why you don't bet.
You could have obviously like ace king with the king of hearts.
This guy is not good.
I would say that hand is still more likely to bet the turn, and like king with hearts.
He's just
I think
better than the donkeys that play the high stakes with.
So we will fold.
He's made so many mistakes.
There you go. On this table, we call a 3-bet in position. It's not the greatest hand at all, but
okay, so
we flop it, and I will pop.
He just said he called a 3-bet with a hand with an ace in it, and he doesn't even have a suited ace. This guy is not a good poker player, guys. I read his book, and that's all I needed to read. If you play like this and you're playing at the low stakes trying to grind a roll, you're going to go broke.
Flop here. I mean, good. We flop okay. Pair and a gutter. And DS press below 2. So he might have aces and play it this way. I've seen this before, but it's
okay. This is a horrible bet.
He does. If he
should
traps
just check
queens, it would
and
become
hope
a problem.
He hits his 10 on the turn.
Might have aces. He might even fold aces sometimes. You know?
What? How did he call that?
Okay, yes, queen. I'm gonna run it one time. He has queen.
He's so bad. He got it in with what could help him? A 10. So he had 4. He had like less than 20% equity and got all that money in. These guys do not care about money. He's probably not even playing with his own money, guys.
Queens. Okay, win the 10.
You're going to be playing against old guys at 1-2 PLO.
3-bet queen 7-5. That's kind of surprising.
The game
anyway, we're squeezing
time.
ace 10 deuce at 10-4 ourselves.
Only want to put it in when
around 60 big blinds deep or so. That's a pretty good flop.
Okay, he should definitely
against
check
one
this
opponent.
Flop.
I'm going to start with the small bet.
I would definitely check. Now he should bet. Now he should bet.
So he can definitely still have an ace. Obviously flush draws are out there, but he can also have an ace.
Now he should bet.
Obviously this hand is kind of a no-brainer. folding. Over in this table, we play big blind versus button, small c-bet on the flop.
Okay, that's a fold, guys. He has the jack high flush. He should only, he has no redraws. He should only be calling there with the king high flush. And he should have bet if he had the king high flush. This guy,
so we're not going to fold here against the button's range. Like he will have plenty of blockers, and he could also have some nonsense. Maybe even a weaker hand. It's pretty unlikely, but
this is
never
not,
played against his opponent.
He's calling all 3 streets. It's horrible.
There you go.
Okay, see, he plays against horrible competition. That guy
triple
barrel bluff with like absolutely nothing.
And on this table, we face a 3-bet from.
For one, he just opened bad aces. You guys should be
10.
just calling those aces, not. He's getting it all in with bad aces.
Okay.
This guy.
He has ace queen 6 straight. He will run it one time. He wants to run it one time anyway. Well, that works. He does have a gutter to backdoor flush draws.
How many top set of aces does this guy flop when he has aces? This is ridiculous.
We do fate.
And these guys are just playing so bad. Just look what these guys are getting all in with.
And I think that should complete the fish.
Please, guys, watch my channel.
Not yet.
I will teach you how to play PLO to beat the 1-2, 1-2, 5-5, 5-10, 10-25. I've played them all. I can beat players that play every single level.
Flop decision is kind of interesting. I'm going to call. I can also see reasons
for
folding
call that.
Or raising.
Now he should have definitely bet pot on the table.
Turn is obviously great.
Why is he trying to let somebody catch up for free?
I mean, he's not going to have that many values to turn. That being said, he pots it. So we have an easy jam, of course. We'll take our time. We have another interesting hit as well.
He just got so lucky that that got bet right there.
So over on this table, we 3-bet small blind and flop a wrap.
He should pot.
And the backdoor not flush draw. All in. Snaps it away. You have 90% equity against top 2 pair and gutter.
How many top set of aces does this guy make?
Because it will not be properly tracked. We win the pot. Pretty nice pot there, $2,442. Schuller, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. That's a nice hand. We can work with this hand.
I agree with that 3-bet. Should definitely check. And now he should fold.
And turn is.
That's a horrible call. What is he drawing to? Just he hopes of flushes, and the flush might not. He might be drawing dead.
Checks the river.
Horrible call.
So
definitely
we do have to bet the river. The question is, do we just put him in, or do we?
If he bets, he should only get called by
pot.
A full house. This is a
I don't really see a lot of boats. I mean, you can have a6, makes sense, but you can also have 7-5 or 6x.
See, he's thinking too much about it with his trying to play GTO. Just check.
That's not good when he calls this quick. But it is good. It is good. There you go. Fin value shove. This time works out. All right, we got aces over here. We get 3-bet. By the same player as before, we folded against this guy before. This time we're not going to fold. We got aces. This time we
all right, these aces should be 3-bet.
All in pre. All right.
Let's see if he flops
queen, jack, and 6 double. Okay. See,
these guys are just horrible.
Maybe. Let's hold.
What is this guy doing with the queen,
okay, we got 63-64% equity on the flop. Hold it. Hold it. Uh-oh. 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 I hate it. I hate to lose that way when I have to turn it over myself. Okay, we're going to take that note, though. And against same player, we're now creating ourselves with double suited aces. He snaps it away. And we have some...
All right, you should definitely bet pot here.
Options here.
I always bet pot, and I will tell you guys the reason for I always bet pot in my book. I don't do it just because it's easy. I have a reason for always betting pot.
That is one of the worst turn cards. There's so many beautiful turn cards. Why does it have to be this one? Okay.
Okay, he should
we accept it and deal with it. Check. I was looking for like the 3 of hearts.
Now we should obviously bet.
Won't complain about this.
Okay, so
I
JNANDEZ
think his blocker potential is quite limited.
knows how to do
so
the
we'll be
obvious
betting.
stuff when he has the nuts, but I've obviously showed in this video that
He snaps it away.
A lot of leaks in his game.
Who is the
and
fish
I hope
now?
you guys stop studying this guy and find some other
Good game,
much
bro.
better
Good
players
game.
out there. I can teach you how to play better.
Oh, in this table
There's
we've got
tons of
2
better
pair.
players out there.
Top 2 pair, I should
Galfont is
say, in a
much better
shallow
player.
situation. So we open
This guy needs to
raise.
stop being covered
Button calls,
so much.
small blind calls was very shallow.
He will lose
And I
you
think in
money
order
if you're
to draw
trying
this
to
guy
grind
out
up a
and
roll.
just got a jam,
This
we're
is
not going to
Cincy
print here in terms
Joe.
of
I'm done
equity.
venting. I hope you guys check out my channel.
It's
Look
just the
up
thing to do, right? It's just the
Cincy
right
Joe,
thing
Pot
to
Limit
do.
Omaha on YouTube.
Smelly
And my
socks.
book can be found
Get out
on
of the way.
Amazon.
Don't worry about this pot.
Just look
Pot
up
between me and
Cincy Joe, Pot Limit
Blue
Omaha
Toss.
on Amazon.
So we got 6%
also. You'll find
equity.
my book. All right, thanks guys. Good luck at the
tables. Or
tables.
7 or
Bye.
5.